Folks, as always, if you have any information as to the whereabouts of Bobby Sheehan, please report to your local authorities. It's no longer a joke what's happening. We would be irresponsible if we didn't address the elephant in the room. And unfortunately, unlike Dumbo, who soars through the skies, Bobby is at large at playgrounds throughout America and possibly Europe. Possibly Europe.
He might be in jolly old England right now.
And everyone was sending us, hey, stop doing fucking podcasts. What's the point of it without Bobby Sheehan? And it's like, well.
The point of it is we have the king of New Jersey, the big dog of comedy Fight Club, my roommate, Mark Henley. May he live forever. Joe.
May he live forever, dude.
What's up, Mark? I'm sorry we embarrassed ourselves right off the bat in front of you.
That's right. With Bobby out of town, this is the big dog takeover, the BXG DXG takeover of locker room talk. I'm here to fucking fill in and also cause a little bit of chaos.
I love it, man. I love it. Thanks for what? Oh, Matt on his fucking phone. This is fucking cool because Mark Henley is one of the first New Jersey comics I met when I moved out to the East Coast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Joe was like doing comedy for like 10 years and then moved to the Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
Or no, the Jersey, not Jersey, but he moved to,
I would say northern New Jersey.
Northern Jersey, and then was like a real comic amongst a bunch of people who were largely delusional, crazy people.
It was fun. It was fun.
Is that fair? Is that a fair assessment?
Yeah. And I moved to Bloomfield, New Jersey, and it was the Trend Coffee Shop.
Yes.
Now, I went to that one because who was that fucking nutty Italian guy that died like a few years ago, the skunk guy?
Nutty Italian guy?
The nutty Italian guy, he also was like the skunk comedian.
Mussolini.
No, he was like a New Jersey comic.
Mussolini.
It was when like those two mics were happening on Tuesday night, and it was like the Tuesday Night Wars. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
One was like
Mario.
Yeah,
Mario
that's it.
Pisano.
Oh, Mario Gentile?
No,
Mario Gentile.
Yeah.
That was his.
Yeah.
He hosted the first mic I ever went
I
to.
remember he died like a
He
year.
died, dude.
Yeah.
And like he died being like anti-Black Lives Matter, so no one really cared that he died. And people were very relieved that he died. But I remember
Yeah.
Died doing what he loved, putting black people in their place.
Yeah.
So what my I never met him, but what ended up happening was I took over an open mic on Mondays, right? And someone posted in the New Jersey comedy open mic group. They were like, "Hey, I would like to take my mom to an open mic. What open mic is good to bring moms to? You know, a weird thing, but normal mostly. You know,
it's of all the things like people ask, like that's the good. Where's a good one that I can show people?
Yeah.
Where I can practice.
It's
my
one of
craft.
the everyone in comedy would hear that and be like, "What is wrong with that fucking weirdo?" But that's because we're all so jaded. That should be a normal thing.
Yeah, it should be normal, and also like, hey, I'm trying comedy. My mom wants to see what it's like. Where can I bring her?
Yeah.
You would think you'd get like a few recommendations, right?
Yeah.
Would you think you would get a 100+ comment argument?
Dude, I fucking miss Facebook so much. I
miss New
when
Jersey, dude.
Yeah.
No, I miss when everyone was on Facebook and you would just have these long comment sections of complete lunatics.
Yeah.
Even the ones that went bad were so entertaining. Because also everyone was on Facebook, so now it's like you got some comics on Instagram or some on Twitter. Not everyone sees the same posts and everything. Everyone saw everyone's like 100 comment thread. So you can go to an open mic and like 75% of the people in that room all knew everything you just saw earlier that day.
Yeah, and what happened with this one was a guy this guy Garrett Nygren, nice guy.
I love Garrett.
Love Garrett. Yeah, Garrett's a great guy. He jumps in, he goes, "Hey, Mark has an open mic Mondays at Trend. It's a coffee shop, so it tends to be a little bit cleaner sometimes. Moms would probably like it." And then Mario jumps in and goes, "Garrett Nygren is trying to destroy my Wednesday night open mic. He started one down the street, and the only reason he's recommending this mic is to destroy my new Monday night open mic."
I love it. Mario Gentile, rest in peace, you beloved little wop, dude. I can't believe it, dude.
I remember he would do late night at the comic strip sometimes back when I was doing that a lot.
Mamma Mia.
And I just remember him being like an older guy who was so like affable and friendly, but then on the turn of a dime, like somebody could just he got put lower on the list than he thought he should, and all of a sudden he's the most intense human being ever.
Then the mafia came out.
Yeah, all of a sudden he's just like, "You believe they did this?" Like, it's fun. Yeah, that happens every week. Like,
He was like the reason people would be scared of being like an older person at open mics.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, that
I don't
want to
be. He was the cautionary tale.
Yeah. And well, look, dude, he ended up being the cautionary tale. He
I guess,
died.
yeah.
You know who's not dead? Me and Joe. For
That's
a
right,
reason.
dude.
That's true. And Garrett Nygren.
Garrett Nygren, notably not dead.
Notably.
As long as you run a good open mic on Mondays in New Jersey, you're immune, baby.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. It was like the Owl. It
Yeah.
was like Owl Tavern. That
Yeah.
was my first New Jersey mic. Was Owl Tavern with
no.
my roommate. True Dance.
True Dance. Shout out to True Dance.
Who has rubbed you wrong and Matt wrong.
Did he
in
rub
various
me
parts.
wrong?
Just by being like a little weird.
Oh yeah. I liked him.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think I have like a moment in my mind where I'm kind of like True Dance has screwed me or anything.
No, not screwed you.
But I
just
also
like,
don't hang out with him.
No, he. You know what's funny? So he moved to New Jersey to be a physical therapist. So he was always like, "Here, let me show you something." And then like, he would like, press on my back and like kind of like, "Oh, make me feel better." And at one point he was like, "Let me see your foot." And I'm like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" So I was like, "Okay." So he took my foot and he was like, "Did you roll your ankle?" I'm like, "I rolled my ankle like 5 years ago, dude." And he kind of held it and he did like a quick little like motion and it popped into place and it was like a
Whoa.
really soothing like, "Oh shit." And I was able to like move my fucking foot around again. I was like, "Damn."
Oh, he actually knew what he was
he
doing.
fucking knew it.
I
He
think
knows
this is
what
going to
he's
be like a
doing.
John Edwards situation where he's like, "Do you have a rolled ankle?" "No, I'm getting a sprained knee. A sprained knee."
I thought it was like, do you have a,
Someone stepped on your foot one time.
That's what I was getting. I'm sorry.
do you have a rolled ankle? No. You do now. Classic. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, I didn't do a lot of Jersey stuff until like a few years into doing stand up, and then it would just be like book things here and there. It wasn't really until I started hanging out with Mark where I would do. And that may have been when I first met you.
Yeah.
Was when
Grind.
Mark was doing the open mic at Subculture.
Yeah.
I remember
that
I
was a
didn't
fun one.
I didn't know Joe, and I knew I liked him just because he was asking everyone if they were nervous before the open mic.
a signature move, dude. That's
Yeah.
like my favorite. I love doing that, and it's always funny. Like you can tell like how serious the comic takes it when they give like a really introspective answer. It's like, "Yo, slow down, bitch. This ain't WTF."
There's a few
goofing.
times where I've watched Joe ask people if they're nervous, and they're like, "I don't know. I feel like I used to get nervous before I did stand up, but as times got like."
Yeah. They just talk about it. Like they tell me like their origin story of how
Yeah.
they're no longer nervous.
And the thing is, Joe never lets him in on the fact that he's doing a joke in any way.
Yeah.
Like that person probably really
Because it's
thinks
for
they.
him, it's not a bond with them.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
a-
that person really probably thinks they had a moment with Joe.
Well, sucker. Because this is how like the comedy drama all plays out. Is that Joe moved in 10 years in, so he's already like been in San Francisco and seen all these comedy dynasties rise and fall. You know,
Yes.
people would show up, I imagine, and like they would start like an open mic in San Francisco that would be popular, and then they would all fall apart and be like destroyed. Like,
Yeah.
So you could see how like transient everything was and how like ridiculous the Wednesday night open mic feud was in a way that maybe the people having the 100 argument comment thread about it
Yeah.
couldn't necessarily see it.
It's
Yeah.
like once you get into any other scene, you kind of see like, oh, everything's like a pattern.
Yes.
It's like the same stuff. It's like a bunch of people start comedy and, everyone kind of has like a plan, an idea. And then some people get more successful. Some people don't. Some people get better later on. Some people, But in the end, like the only thing that's ever consistent is you're going to do comedy.
Yes.
It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to do comedy at this venue for the rest of your life. But you'll do comedy.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily there. And it's good it's not necessarily there. It's better that you can do what you love doing anywhere in the fucking world.
Yes.
And that's cool.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you shouldn't have a stake of land in New Jersey. And it's like every fucking Tuesday, this is where the comedy happens. And if you ever try to do comedy at 7 p.m. in central New Jersey, I will fucking kill you. It's like, come on, man.
And if you don't go one week, I'm gonna think you're mad at me.
It's better. If anything, you could stack those fucking shows
Yeah.
if you like worked with other people.
Yeah.
And then like more people would want to go. Like, oh, why don't you do pre-signups for this mic at this other mic at the or something like that. There you could. It's so easy to work with it. And one of like the only thing you realize doing comedy long term is like there's very few people that are actually trying to fuck you in comedy. For the most part, people are working on their comedy, and maybe it might fuck you over, but it's rarely an intentional thing.
You only
Yeah.
get fucked over if in that moment it is convenient for someone else to fuck you over.
Right.
And the people that are gonna fuck, there is a segment of people that are going to fuck you and anyone else over that would go into their orbit. But if you've been around long enough, you know not to deal with them.
Yeah, and those people tend to self-destruct over the course of a few years because you can only go so far.
Yeah, you can only screw over everyone you know at all times for a little bit, and then eventually they stop letting you book shows at that venue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, or a pandemic happens.
Are we
and
talking about
everyone
No
forgets.
Filter Paul?
Who's he screwing over?
I don't know. The British.
Joe just had to name someone.
I was thinking like who would Johnny Hollywood. Those are the
Yeah,
only guys
yeah.
I know. Jonesy, of
Oh,
course I know.
yeah.
Oh,
Sweet Jonesy.
Jesus.
There's a bunch of guys there's like an old man circuit in Jersey, and then
I love those guys too. By the way,
yeah, they're fine. But they all do a thing that I don't understand, which is that when they're in the hospital, they all take selfies of themselves.
I love that shit.
They'll
Who the
post, like,
fuck would just take pictures and like post online about them being in the hospital?
but with no comment, they'll just have a post of them being like scared in the hospital bed, just kind of like.
Oh, I love it. I love it when it's like they're holding the phone down and like looking down on it. So it's like an upward shot as if they're towering over you. Like, what the hell am I doing here? Who put this catheter in me? That's wild, dude. Are you gonna be an old guy in New Jersey? What's your story?
I would like to not do that.
Yeah.
I like to live in Jersey, but I think that doing open mics as an old man in Jersey, listen, if nothing else happens, that's how it will be. But
Yeah.
One
I
day,
would
Mark
like it to
Henley
not
will
be.
headline Scotty's Comedy Cove.
One day. I listen. I already did.
Yeah,
I like that.
in a roast battle for Comedy Fight Club.
Oh yeah,
That's
that
what
counts.
matters.
where
Yeah.
I won.
Yeah.
Nice.
I beat that alcoholic Scott Holt.
Yes.
I feel like New Jersey was a great transitory step for me.
Yes.
Going from San Francisco to New Jersey, I think it made New York less overwhelming.
Yeah.
It made me more excited, and I already knew what places I wanted to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Also, in my mind, I thought, like, if I can live in New Jersey and do comedy in New York still, I must really enjoy comedy, and it's going to work out. Because if I didn't, then, like, who the fuck would go on a train for, like,
Yeah.
45 minutes to do a set at the Creek in the Cave?
Yeah.
You
and,
know?
and one thing I
Unless
like,
you lived locally. And then when I did live locally, it was like, cool, I'll do multiple sets here. Like this.
Yeah.
It was good because I was able to make an adjustment to the East Coast, which I think was the hardest thing.
Yeah.
Getting through a first winter is always brutal. And it was a good community out there. It was you, Scott Holt,
yeah.
the rest.
Me and Scott Holt, notable headliners of Scotty's Comedy
Scotty's
Club.
Comedy Cove headliners.
Yeah, no, I one thing I like about you a lot is I feel like you still love doing stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Like we had you on a crowd work show recently, and you were like, you showed up, you had a good time, you seemed like you had fun.
Yeah.
I was like, you seem like fun. Like even you going to mics and playing mind games with everyone, asking if they're
got it.
nervous.
Well,
that's
Joe's
like you
been
having
doing
fun.
this way longer than some people who will go to a show and be pissy about the show not being good. And I'm like, Joe's been doing this way longer than you, and he's just still going to go here and try to have a good time.
That's
Yeah.
all you
Why?
can-
That's
yeah.
what we're doing comedy.
That's all
Why
you-
are you?
yeah.
Yeah, I think some of the people are also just trying to like hedge their own bet.
Sure.
Where like they're talking about how bad it is, so that when they do bad, they already have the excuse.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
fun when it's awful too. Like I kind of like when you're in a room and like everyone's trying to eat dinner and you're making them all mad.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
There's a sense of camaraderie too when you're like,
Yeah.
when like all the comics collectively make that realization that, oh, this is going to be a shit show. Let's just power through and
We're
do
all
the
in
best
this
we can.
together.
Yeah. Like the soldiers in the fucking trenches, and you see those bombs going off, and you see, there's an exit, but that's not for us. 'Cause we're fucking soldiers, man. We're Spartans.
The only exit is the light when you get off the goddamn stage.
The
I'll get off the stage. You give me the goddamn light.
The sequel to All Quiet on the Western Front is going to be about the set I had at the Comedy Shop 2 weeks ago.
All loud in the
it-
green
was
room.
it rough?
It was rough. It was a good Friday 8 o'clock. It was Cinco de Mayo, so
Yeah.
it was. I think it was all the people who weren't fun enough to get invited to parties. They were just in my audience.
Now you love the comedy shop, right?
I like the Comedy
I
Shop.
love the comedy shop.
Oh yeah, without Bobby here, let's talk about how much we love the Comedy Shop.
Yeah, without Bobby here, we can talk about
They
legitimate
want-
comedy venues without
Yes.
him interrupting me. I don't like that place.
they slighted me once at an open mic.
It's like, yeah, it happens, dude. Just try again. Get your free drink and get on with your life.
Yeah.
You know?
The worst crowd I had recently was in Iowa City.
Okay.
We did.
Oh yeah, you did a whole tour
I did-
Midwest.
I did
yeah.
a whole tour of Ben Miller, and we did a basement in Iowa City called Joystick Comedy, and the guy running was very nice, but it was like a gay bar for like exclusively trans people, it seemed.
Yikes!
So it was just a bunch of trans people there to like be hot and hook up with each other.
Hell yeah.
And then instead we made them watch a whole slideshow that Ben was doing on science.
Yikes.
An hour of
Ben,
science.
Ben's thing on science is how there's only biologically two genders. He shows the X and Y chromosomes, and he's like,
Here's a slideshow about why genetically male swimmers have an advantage over genetically female ones.
nice, man. How romantic.
But yeah, it's
Speaking of being transphobic, you got the new Hogwarts Legacy game.
I did, but they have a trans person in it. Spoilers.
And-
I've heard of
and-
Serona Ryan.
Serona Ryan.
You can have sex with them.
Can you?
No.
I mean, when I draw it, I will.
How funny is it, though, that there were, like, people that were very, very upset that you did not have romance options in this video game.
Yeah.
Where you play a child. Like, you're literally, like, that's what turns me off from the game. Like, Kelly loves Hogwarts. Like,
Yeah.
we bought Hogwarts Legacy first day because that's how much Kelly wanted it.
Mhm.
And she never plays games. And I regret introducing it to her because now it is cutting into my PlayStation time.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, hey, bitch, I got a fucking Fortnite with the boys.
Right.
We're dropping. There's rankings now. Join my fucking Discord if you want to play with me on Fortnite. But she plays Hogwarts Legacy. And
They think the fact that there's no dating keeps her
Yeah.
away from the system longer.
but
She'd
it's
be-
like it reminds me of that Rockstar game. Did you ever play Bully?
no.
Well, Bully is like Grand Theft Auto, but it's set in a private school.
Mhm.
So you kind of walk around like like the quad, and you have to go to classes, and you know
You play the bully?
no, you play like a kid that's bullied, but you could also be a bully.
I want
Yeah.
to be Roger Klotz from Doug.
You're not right, dude.
You're gonna
Matt-
cream
Matt
everybody?
thinks he's the leader bully.
No,
Matt's
I don't.
like the
I want to.
fucking-
I don't want to be him. I want to play as him.
No,
Yeah,
Matt's
yeah.
like the
I'm not-
sidekick bully.
Yeah.
Matt's like the big doofy guy who's
Yeah.
like, yeah, boss. and then it's like, hey, Matt, give that kid a swirl.
Yeah.
Yeah, boss.
I feel like you and we both need a leader bully because
You
you're
need
the
a
one.
Roger Klotz.
Yeah, because Joe's the one who goes, yeah, get him, and I'm the one who's like, go, boss.
Well, that's good, fortunately, because I've got some enemies for us to take
You
care
got,
of.
Mark will be our leader
There we
bully.
go. Perfect, dude.
Yeah.
I've
And
been
Bobby's the accountant.
Yes.
He makes sure the lunch money is fucking perfectly
Right.
fucking laundered.
Yeah. But no, so you can't. You're just a kid in school, and you have the option to become a bully.
Well, yeah, that's bully. And then with Hogwarts, it's
Yeah.
like you're running around Hogwarts attending classes. I'm like, I'm a little kid. Like, why don't I just play Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption where I can be an adult and kill people? You know, I think
yeah,
that's like-
instead of trying to be a good student at school.
I don't want to fucking go to school again. I hated that shit, dude. Now I
Yeah.
have to pay money and do it
I
again.
gotta play money and then learn things that aren't even real about wizards that don't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is like she's like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, okay, well, I never read the books or watched the movies.
Yeah.
So I only have like, but I know, you know, you get a knowledge of stuff just through pop culture. So I
Yeah.
know like Expelliarmus, and you know, I know like Snape kills Dumbledore.
You just did an Italian magic spell.
Yeah.
Expelliarmus.
Hey, a Wikipedia.
It's a rigatoni.
Lasagna.
I've been we go back to bullies real quick. I've been watching Doug as I work from home.
Yeah.
And
Nickelodeon Doug or Disney
Nickelodeon
Doug?
Doug, because I want to watch the transition, because for those of the people that don't know, there's a Disney Doug where everything is weird. They change everything a little bit differently.
I watched a YouTube one of those little. All I watch now are like those 10-minute YouTube documentaries on. It's like, did you know the cast of Recess was actually trans? You know, stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, I'm into this.
Where they don't recognize that, but they were talking about how Jim Jenkins, who
Mm-hmm.
was the creator of Doug, who made Jumbo Studios,
Yeah.
which produced Doug, they actually owned the rights to Doug. So when Nickelodeon chose not to renew, there was like a 2-year period where they couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then they sold it to Disney,
Mhm.
but Disney rebranded it, and that's why they called it brand spanking new Doug.
Yeah.
To kind of dissuade you. And then they pumped out. There's more episodes of Disney's Doug just because they tried to like make it like, if you look for Doug, you're going to see Disney's Doug before you see Nickelodeon Doug. But
Yeah.
it's different. But
Yeah.
so you're watching.
But the key difference was that the fat girl in regular Doug,
Yeah.
they made her thin and new Doug.
Ooh.
In the first episode, they explain it's because she went to fat camp.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they don't say fat camp.
They said
Was it it
redesign.
wasn't-
They said redesign camp.
It wasn't Patty Mayonnaise, even though that's a perfect fat girl name.
Nah, she's always been hot.
Yeah.
She's
But
quite
her
frankly
dad,
always been
her dad is crippled.
Yes, her dad is.
So you know he can't stop you.
Right.
You can do what you want.
That's true.
some dark imagery
Yeah.
of you breaking into Patty Mayonnaise's house while her dad yells from his wheelchair.
Yeah.
Stop it! It's Quail Man, dude. It's like
There's a step he can't get over. If
I
could get
told
over
you.
the step.
I told you not to skeeter.
Doug had a great vibe.
Yeah. Oh, the vibe is great. But the thing about it is Roger is so involved in Doug's life. Like, they're actually friends, I think.
Yeah.
But Doug, because there's not a thing that Doug happens to him that is so small that Roger doesn't show up and is like, haha, you're going to fail at that. But you have to know everything about this fucking guy to know all
And
those
this is
things.
before MySpace and shit,
Yeah.
so it's like he had to fucking be paying attention.
Was he just stalking him?
He's like, what, you're going to dance this weekend? Loser, you can't dance. You're gonna make an announcement at the auditorium. You can't make an announcement. Why does he know every single thing about this guy?
That is strange.
It is. That was a great show.
Yeah.
Like, especially compared to what it came out around Ren and Stimpy and Rugrats.
Yes.
And it was kind of like the forgotten child
Well,
because
because it's kind of bland.
it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's great
like
but bland.
It compared to Rugrats, which was all about like the imagination and childhood wonder, and then Ren and Stimpy, which was so over the top, crazy.
Yeah.
Like Doug was like it was a very consistent show, but it's overlooked because of that.
It's
which
like
is funny.
Vienna fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vienna fingers. They're
Vienna
not
fingers
like,
are great.
Yeah, they're not a cookie that like you would often buy at the store next to all the other cookies. But if you're somewhere and you have them, I could see myself absentmindedly eating every Vienna finger at
Yeah.
a party.
I love eating cookies.
Yeah, dude, cookies
I
are
love
the
eating a
best.
fucking sleeve of cookies, man.
Wait, who was trans in Recess? Spinelli, right? Spinelli was definitely
No, Gretchen, dude.
Gretchen.
Big lanky fuck.
Oh, I could see Gretchen being trans too.
And Gus. Gus would
Gus.
transition.
There were a lot of
Mikey,
trans
actually, the entire cast of Recess could be trans.
Except for TJ. TJ's a bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you thought you were TJ, dude.
Tender.
I was that fucking the tattletale kid.
You were Randall?
I was Randall. If there was anyone in Recess, it's like, yeah, dude, I'm gonna fucking tell on you.
No,
Fuck you.
Bobby was
Bobby was
Randall.
definitely Randall.
Yo, Bobby
Actually,
loves the rules.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now that I think about it, I'm like that King guy. What was it?
King
Gu-
Bob.
King Bob, yeah.
Yeah.
Just fucking chill as fuck.
Yeah.
Smoking weed on top of the jungle gym.
Yeah. Who's
Not
Miss
giving a
Finster?
I think I watched Recess maybe 2 to 3 times.
Yeah.
That's also why I didn't watch Disney's Doug, because I just didn't watch whatever that channel was.
You didn't watch ABC one Saturday morning?
No, not really.
You didn't see the Goliath Chronicles?
I think
Doggy.
I think I was real into like whatever the Channel 11 thing was.
WB.
Yeah, WB, because it was
Ah.
that was like
Animaniacs.
Pokemon,
You got the Men in
X-Men,
Black.
yeah, things
You
like
got
that.
Freakazoid.
Static Shock
Yeah.
was in there, right?
Static Shock, that was a banger.
Superhero Static Shock.
Now, were you able to enjoy Static Shock as a white person?
Yeah, I mean, I try not to think about it.
I couldn't get into it because of that. I'm like, yikes, sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
Someone's got to check his power.
Yeah.
He's a menace.
I never got into Static Shock, but Batman Beyond was sick.
Batman Beyond was the fucking shit.
Yeah.
I loved. Damn,
The-
it's like, okay, take Batman, combine it with Blade Runner, and sprinkle in some fucking Spider-Man high school drama.
It's about, do you know Batman Beyond at all?
I probably saw it, but I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
For me,
Future-
a lot of the superhero cartoons kind of blended together for me. I was never super into any of them, so I was aware of all of them. But if you told me the plot of a Teen Titans episode, I might also think it was the plot of another one of the Batman episode.
Batman Beyond is standalone.
So
Yeah.
what happened with that was they were making a Batman series that was like really critically acclaimed. People really liked it. Everyone was really into the show. And then one day, like as they were doing it, they're like planning to continue on as normal. The executives at the studio just brought them in. They're like, "Hey, listen, we love the show. However, Batman's like not really youthful. So can you make him like a teenager?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?" Like, dude, like a teenage Batman. And then they gave
Bad boy.
they gave him all these things, and they're like, "Fuck, they're gonna ruin our show." And then they were like, "Well, maybe if we did this," and then they actually made a good show out of a terrible idea.
Yeah.
It was like the one time a Studio Notes showed up, and they were like, "Oh, actually, we're very good at making TV shows, so we'll just make a good TV show instead."
Yeah.
So they figured out how to do it, but they were like, it was one of those ones where like they came down, they're like, "Oh, this is gonna kill all of us."
God, so it's like the writers were talented enough. They ended up coming up with some great idea, and the studio was probably like, "Fucking look at us, we did it."
We
Yeah.
did it. Everyone should be
well,
teenagers.
in the end, like all of those shows, and it's also funny, like in hindsight, when you look at all of those shows from like the late 80s throughout the 90s to the early 2000s.
Yeah.
All of those children's cartoon shows were just made to sell toys.
Yeah.
Like that's all they were. But like then like so when you actually get a good storyline out of what is really just a 22-minute toy commercial,
Yeah.
that's pretty fucking cool.
Which is different from like if you ever watch old Muppet Show, the old Muppet Show is like they'll have like a famous ballerina on there and then they'll dance ballet around puppets. Like
Yeah.
it was meant to like show culture to children. And then it became about selling toys.
Well,
or
that
whatever.
was Jim Henson's whole thing.
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like kids are. It's funny because you think like Jim Henson and children, you immediately think Sesame Street, but like all of that shit for Jim Henson, you could watch like as a like Dark Crystal. Yeah, it's like kind of fucked up and crazy, but it's also to show like there's not just like happiness and smiles. Like scary shit can happen.
Yeah.
but you can get through it.
Yeah.
My favorite Jim Henson, Follow That Bird. You ever see that one?
I don't think so.
Oh, I love that one.
It's about
Yeah.
raping a British girl.
Yes. That. Oh, follow that bird, eh?
Follow that board, dude.
Hi, Bobbit, where you going there? Where you going? I'm a nice guy. Yes.
I
you
watched
think
the
that-
season
yeah.
of Geordie Shore at one point.
Geordie Shore?
Is like the British Jersey Shore.
Oh, nice.
And it's crazy to me.
Don't they have a jersey in England?
Yeah, but like they're like classy.
That's
I
like a
that
classy
there's-
jersey.
Yeah.
Just like they have class. Like York in England is classy, and New York is like, hey, you're walking here.
Okay.
Like,
In York, they're like, I'm riding my carriage over here,
Like,
over
I-
yonder.
I love that there's like an evil British version of Jersey called Geordie Shore. But they would always talk about every time they hooked up with a girl, they would call it pulling a bird,
yeah.
which you
Right.
know,
No,
like
it's-
pulling her out of the car. And-
Instead of the situation, it's like, hi, the scenario.
Then like the girl leaves like, "Oh, governor, I showed you no boy did. I'll be talking to you later." Teeth all fucked up and shit, dude. It's like, damn.
They're Snooky.
Yeah, dude. It's so funny. Everyone thinks like, oh, a beautiful woman like fucking Laura Croft or Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
But it's probably not. It's just like, hello, I'm your nanny, I is.
They on Geordie Shore they are all hot, but they all sound exactly like Joe's talking right
Yeah.
now.
I'm well aware of British culture. British culture. Oh my god. What a banger, dude. Yeah, I love fucking Batman Beyond. I love cartoons. I still watch fucking cartoons, doggy.
Do you remember when they used to make everyone babies? Like Muppet
Muppet
babies and
Babies,
stuff?
yeah.
They should bring back babying things.
Looney Tune babies.
Yeah,
Looney
yeah.
Tunes became a
Tiny
baby.
Toon
Tiny Toons.
Adventures,
Yeah,
yeah.
They should baby everything.
One problem with Tiny Toon Adventures, you never knew how old they were. Because, like, in some episodes, they were going to prom,
Yeah.
and others, like, they were like, oh, they had, like, fucking homework.
Yeah,
and,
you didn't
like,
know if you could
yeah.
jerk off to him or not.
Well, you do. You do because animals, it doesn't count. Animals
Right.
don't count.
You can fuck underage animals
Yeah.
and it's okay.
like,
no
dude,
age
there's
of
no way you
consent.
can, like, consensually fuck an 18-year-old dog. No one's going to fucking do that.
Right, so it's
Yeah.
rape no matter what. So
Every-
you may
yeah.
as well have some fun.
If
First
you're
off,
com-
they'd only fuck big dogs. Now,
Right,
second
there
off,
you go.
if you fuck an animal, no one's like, well, how old was it?
Did the animal consent?
Maybe someday we'll be as a society where we can finally ask those progressive questions.
Yeah.
But right now it's just like yuck.
I had a friend in college who had a friend that well, sorry, this makes it sound like it's me somehow. I had a friend in college.
I know this guy.
I had a friend in college who had a friend that that used to fuck dogs sometimes.
Sure.
And he would be like, he's like, listen, this isn't how I feel, but this is why he thinks it's okay. And I was always like, I still think it's wrong to fuck that dog.
What was his reasoning?
feels
Maybe
good.
I could be convinced.
Feels really fucking good.
Yeah. It's awesome, dude. You don't have to fucking listen to a woman nag you.
Yeah. If you can think of a better way to come, I'd like to hear it.
They don't even care what brand of peanut butter you use.
Imagine like deciding to fuck a dog instead of just jerking off.
Yeah.
What was
Yeah.
his reasoning?
That they don't seem to not like it.
You know, sometimes I pick up Finney and pretend he's a little baby.
Yeah.
And I like to cradle him. And Kelly says, like, I don't think he likes that. And I'm like, well, he's not fucking hating it.
Yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, I'm not fucking my dog. Like, it's like-
Also, could you imagine having sex with a girl and the next day someone asked how it went and you said, I don't think she didn't like it?
damn. Is it a boy dog or a girl dog?
The
Oh, yeah, was
guy-
he gay?
I think his friend was gay, so I think that was the. So I think it might have been. You know, we didn't get that deep into it. That's the other thing. Once you fucked a dog, it doesn't really matter to me if it's a guy or a girl,
Yeah.
baby or adult. It's all kind of You've already gotten too
You're already
weird.
going to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, do you think like dog pussy feels better than dog butthole? And I will be the first to admit this is a very slippery slope. This conversation.
Right. Dog pussy or dog bussy?
Well, I'm like very famously not a butthole guy.
Right.
So,
Famously.
yeah. I don't
Yeah.
do any butthole stuff.
It's been
And
all
so
Butthole
that's in
stuff.
your. That's how they bring you up on stage. This next comic hates ass stuff. Let's keep it going for Mark Henley.
I like
folks.
the slapping an ass, but I
Hell
don't want to
yeah.
go in. You know.
Yeah.
You don't like getting a little chocolate finger.
No, that sounds. I hate that.
Ooh, you never live.
I mean, you didn't exactly sell it the best there.
What? You don't like when shit gets on your finger? You're like, I don't think so.
It's surprisingly poop free if you do it right.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I said the first time I pulled my finger out of a woman's asshole.
Said this is surprisingly poop
I
free.
was like, this is surprisingly poop free. And then she's like, it's not like there's shit just like chilling in your ass. I'm like, really? Like that was like fucking mind blowing to me because there's always been shit.
And
just
then she
chilling.
went into your ass, and turns out sometimes there is shit just hanging out there.
No, I will say like the one time I told a woman like, oh, you should eat my ass. She looked terrified.
There was a girl I once dated
Because you were doing it in an alleyway.
No, I just thought it'd be,
you,
yeah.
you had a knife.
You caught a park jogger.
I thought it'd be funny. I thought it'd be funny to recommend it.
There was a girl who I dated who liked giving rim jobs.
Yeah, right. That's the oldest trick in the book.
No, she liked
What's the trick?
And Matt like kissing her on the mouth immediately afterward.
Yeah, you got played right now.
She offered me a rim job, and I was
Ooh.
like, okay.
Matt had to
And,
be a gentleman.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say no. I had to be polite.
It would be rude to say no.
No, the whole time it feels nice, but for me, I think you're just always thinking about it's got to not be clean down there. Like this has got to be gross. Like I'm self-conscious about it.
Well, it's
going
gonna
to
be clean by the time she's done.
That's true.
You're like, I want to be able to see my reflection in that asshole by the time you're done, young lady. Giving her fucking chores.
Yeah, no, at the time.
How did she do it? Was she doing like counterclockwise licks?
Yeah,
Nice.
and she went into.
Were you like pulling your ass cheeks apart so she could get a better like?
No,
get-
she
get
was
it
just
better?
giving me head and then just went down. I just had to lift my legs up a little
fucking
higher.
lift your legs up like a baby getting
Yeah.
his diaper changed.
Yeah, we did. I was in a koala changing station.
She pulled off your underwear and like had your legs up.
Wait,
oh my god!
It
that's
happened in a
so-
public bathroom?
Yes, in
Oh
a
my
koala
God.
change. No, it didn't.
Yeah, where'd you get your ass eaten, Matt?
It was in her apartment.
Was it? when was she done? Did she have like a little brown mustache?
No,
You gave her a little dirty Sanchez.
no, I did not.
How was it? Did it feel good? Did you
It
come?
did. I didn't come from that, but I.
See, I'm not a butthole guy. You guys are butthole guys. It would be weird to come from that, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I think you'd have to stimulate your prostate. I
Yeah.
don't think just licking your assholes.
we used to. I told my brother, and I gave her the nickname the Keister Bunny.
That's fucking fun. I love that you can share such intimate and disturbing details with your brother.
Yeah. Well, that I don't know if I ever told you this story actually, Mark. That was the girl I dated who broke up with me in front of. She had been religious,
Ooh.
and then. Was from a small town in Pennsylvania, religious community, was living in New York. I actually knew her because she was friends with a girl who I hooked up in Pennsylvania when I was wrestling.
Little slut.
And so she moves up to New York. We meet up,
Ooh.
and she's like, I don't want to be religious anymore. And she's into eating ass. She like wants to do everything.
Yeah.
And then one day, apparently, she had been dating someone, and they had just gotten engaged. I didn't
No.
even know about that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was very religious. And he was like almost 50, and he was like a pastor.
Ah.
And or I don't know about a pastor, but he like worked with the church in some way.
So he was a nerd.
Yeah. And she decided that she had been living a life of sin in New York and had agreed to break up with the guy she was cheating on her boyfriend with in front of him. I thought I was just going to get laid with this girl I'd been seeing for the last couple months and walked into a breakup with the guy there. And she
Nice.
broke up with me in front of him. And they were like kind of lecturing me. He was like, I believe that if you work hard, you can one day find the Lord also.
You're like, damn, dude. I would just wanted to get my fucking asshole
Pretty
licked.
much.
I
And
came here, How can you fucking like? Did
Yeah,
you
it
tell
was
her?
it
It's
was
like,
wild.
she
I would be
fucking ate
so
my
mad
ass.
if someone made me go cross town to go do that.
Yeah.
If I had to drive 45 minutes
Yeah.
and she's like, "This is my boyfriend. I'm breaking up with you." I'd be like,
It
"What
wasn't.
the
I was just already in Manhattan.
Yeah.
And then it was like around the corner from Broadway Comedy Club where our apartment was.
Did you say like, well, look,
you
I got
shoot-
a
did you
show
do a
coming
set
up
afterwards?
Yeah.
Not afterward. The next day I did at the Grizzly Pear. I remember because I'm like, fucking, I gotta try and talk about this story. I was still new to comedy, so
Yeah.
I was mostly doing one-liners. This was like the first long-form story I told on stage because I was like, there's no way I can't try and talk. I have to try to talk about this.
Yeah.
And Matt was most bummed because I was like 2 potential people he couldn't bring to his shows.
Right, I lost a
Moving
couple
forward.
bringers.
Specifically at Broadway
That's
Comedy
like
Club.
setting your
Yeah.
career back.
They live so close. That
insurmountably.
why wouldn't they
Yeah.
just come out?
No,
Did you
he,
really love her though?
No. I remember the guy say. I asked the guy. He said he was born. He was born a born again Christian, and I asked him how old was he when he became born again, and he said he was 35 years old. And I'm like, I'm 22. Give me 13 more years of fucking random pussy. I'll get born again then too.
No, you
How,
won't.
how
dude.
long was the conversation with them?
Like 45 minutes.
Jesus
Why? Why'd you
Christ.
stick around? Why'd you stick around, dude?
I'm too nice.
Dude, not nice enough to not fuck your
they
girlfriend.
had
You just love hanging out.
they had a little plate of crackers and cheese.
Did they?
Yeah. There were snacks.
Matt
Yo.
just eating loudly while they're lecturing.
Eating some Ritz crackers.
With his mouth open, making a smacking noise. They're trying to fucking quote scripture, and fucking crumbs are flying in their face while
Yeah.
he's doing that.
Because Matt can also eat a lot of food. I was imagining you eating all of the cheese and crackers
Yeah.
and leaving.
I probably could.
I mean, like, can we get another? No, I gotta go.
I almost wish I like had them like at the time I was so kind of blown away by the fact that it was happening that in my head I was even kind of thinking this is insane, this is kind of awesome, but I wasn't like sharp enough at that point to like I wish I had said so many more funny things. I wish I had just been like, does she eat your ass too? Like there's so
That's
many
such a-
Matthew.
Yeah, but you don't know how that's gonna go. You could be like, "Does she eat your ass too?" And then she does, and then he beats the shit out of you with the cheese
He wasn't
plate.
gonna beat the shit out of me.
Why?
He's
How big
pretty-
was he?
Not that big. Not big enough that I was not intimidated.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, but he's got like rage behind his side. He's got
And
God,
God.
He's got God behind
God
his
and
side.
rage and a cheese plate. And you
And a
fucking
cheese-
Yeah. But if like,
God, rage, and a cheese plate. That's true. I don't know if I should mess with that.
yeah, dude. Like, what if he was getting like mad at you, and then he's like Corinthians 3:17,
And I
then
just
a-
burst into flames.
Yeah, dude. Fucking bolt of lightning comes through the fucking restaurant, fucking shocks you right between the eyes,
Yeah.
He
dude.
just starts doing this for a bit, and you're like, "Are you okay?" And he just stands up and then starts screaming Bible verses at
Yeah.
you. Picks up the cheese plate before he can even do it. And
Yeah.
then smashes it.
Yeah. God damn. Yeah, the only girl who's ever been really into eating ass was a girl who was rebelling against God at the time that I had.
You miss her though, huh?
Every day.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's okay, man.
Yeah.
Dating around is weird. I think because like
It's the worst.
because you sometimes like end up in a conversation with someone where like they're like laying out their whole like fucked up life to you, and you're just like, what? Why am I the one? What like why am I in this? Like why am I?
I feel
knowing
like
this?
so much of like a bonding experience, early bonding experience you have with a girl is her sharing something with you and you being supportive of it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
There's
but
got to be something like that.
I'm thinking about like a weird experience I had was one time was there's this girl that I was messaging with on like a dating app, and she was like in an open relationship.
Nice.
And
Those
so I
are
was
the best
so
ones.
so to me I was like, all right, we're gonna hook up immediately. This is gonna be great. So then she was like, yeah, I've got a fiance, but I want to go on dates, but also we can't have sex. And
That's
I'm like,
the oldest trick in the book.
why would we go on dates then? She's like, not we'll go on dates, and then it's fine.
I
And
think you're
This bitch
trying
just
to.
wants a free dinner.
I think you're trying to make friends.
yeah, that seems like a friendship more so
Yeah.
than or you want to say that and then you come over afterwards and then we have sex and you're just like, oh, I can't believe we did that. Like I feel like that was kind of what she was setting up.
Yeah,
It better
I'm not
have
just
been.
gonna take this broad to
such a
dinner
risk.
over that type of
About
thing.
of all the one night stands I've had, I'd say at least 75% of them usually don't do this.
Yeah,
They love saying that.
yeah.
Or they're usually like, please just let me go.
Yeah.
And you're like,
well, it might also be like a bit of a safety thing. Where they have to make sure that you're not gonna lose your mind if they turn you down at some point.
Yeah.
They have to know that they're like, hey, we can't have sex tonight, and then you're not just like, no, and then you start smashing shit in the apartment.
Smashing cheese
Damn,
plates.
dude. My go-to move was always to invite them over to watch Disney Plus.
Even before Disney Plus?
No, I was just like, that's the trick. Is like, oh, come over and watch Disney Plus, and they're like, oh, okay. He's a
Netflix
good
and
guy.
chill.
Yeah, it's Netflix and chill.
No, it's Disney Plus, and put my fucking fist in your asshole. It's much
I don't
more
think Ben and
delicate.
Jerry's is gonna make a flavor out of that one.
Oh, they will.
There is a Netflix and chilled Ben and Jerry's flavor.
Yeah.
Whoa,
dude.
what's in it?
I don't remember. I
Probably
have to look
fucking
it up.
nuts.
Nuts.
Because nuts
Probably,
are chocolate.
Just a way to get a bunch of nut in there.
What's your
Yeah.
favorite Ben and Jerry's flavor?
Americone Dream is pretty
Yeah.
solid.
That's the bag.
Oh,
That
yeah.
one's pretty great. But every time I go there, I always just try to get whatever the weirdest flavor is.
I will
Like a banana thing filled with shit. I'm all in.
I will choose a Ben and Jerry's, any kind of Ben and Jerry's, before I choose any other pint of ice cream.
Me too. I
Yeah.
do my top 3: 1 Americone Dream, 2 Peanut Butter Cup, and 3 Chocolate Chip Cookie Dough.
There's
I
a
like
limited
Tonight.
edition.
Tonight Dough's my favorite. I like vanilla base, but
Mhm.
of any non-vanilla base ice cream I've ever had, Tonight Dough is my favorite.
There was a banana Bob Marley one that I liked for a bit. One
Mm.
Love. I think I've had the Colin Kaepernick one once, but it's like vegan, so it's not
That's
as good.
so weird. I mean,
Yeah.
like, they make decent vegan ice creams too,
Mhm.
The
but I feel like they need to be more. It needs to be a chocolate base if it's going to be a vegan one.
Netflix and chilled is peanut butter ice cream with sweet and salty pretzel swirls and fudge brownies.
God, they make such good fucking flavors.
Yeah.
On the container is like 3 cows watching Netflix together,
Yeah.
and one of them has white arms. The other is this like a threesome?
Yeah.
It looks like one
That
guy with
sounds-
2 girls watching Netflix and chill.
I mean,
but
that's a
there's-
pretty good Netflix and chill.
Have you ever
Yeah.
had a
You
threesome?
and 2 fat girls. This is not bad.
yeah. Or maybe it's 2 guys and a girl. Maybe it's a
like that one.
devil's Netflix and chill.
I don't like that one as much.
That doesn't count. That really doesn't count as a threesome.
I haven't had a threesome. I was having a conversation with someone recently. It might have been Ben, because I like to bring him
Ben
into
had a
conversation.
threesome?
No, I like to bring him a conversation he doesn't want to have.
He fucking creates 2 women out of robots, and that's his threesome.
When we were talking about threesomes, and the only way I would have the devil's threesome, the MMF one, is
With
if
me.
with Matt. No, it would have to be I happened upon a couple already having sex, and they were like, "You should join in."
Nice.
I don't want to be. I would never be like, me and my girlfriend, we need another one in there. I want to be as little involved with whatever happens afterwards as possible.
I would be all right with that. Like, I walk in on a couple having sex, and then I say, I'm going to have sex with your wife. And the guy's like, wait, no, please. And I'm like, I won't have sex with your wife if you suck my dick. And then he's like sucking my dick, and he's crying. And then I come in him, and I'm like, cool, thanks for getting me that warm-up jizz out of my system so I can fuck your wife with an impregnation load. And he's like, no, that's the opposite of what I wanted. But by then I'm already riled up. So I have sex with his wife, and I get her pregnant. And then she has to have a half black, half white kid. Because surprise, surprise, Mark Henley, it was an African-American couple I saw. A black man had sex with me and a black woman.
Wow.
Pretty powerful, huh? This is a progressive podcast.
I kind of like erotica. That was a pretty good story.
Yeah, dude, I know. Dude, I know what I'm fucking.
There's a lot of twists and
This
turns.
is like the Red Shoe Diaries, man. Damn, you think I'm gonna get into erotica if podcasting and comedy doesn't work out? It's like why do you almost exclusively have gay sex with ethnic men in your erotica? And I'm like, I don't know. The fucking story's there. I'm just carving it out of the fucking marble.
I think we should all write some erotica, right?
Yeah,
Gi-
I read a
give-
Star Wars erotica. I did. Did we talk about the Star
You
Wars?
talked about
roast?
it on the last
Yeah,
episode.
we
So you
did,
got to
yeah.
write new erotica, man.
I have to write a
You gotta write new erotica
The
if you want
fans are
to tell
gonna
us
be pissed
about
if
it.
you fucking go back to that well.
Yeah. I feel like if a really hot girl was like, "Hey, I'm gonna fuck my boyfriend. Do you want to come and fuck us?" Like, to fuck the girl, I could see myself saying yes.
Yeah, but what
Yeah,
if you
but
had
what
to
if the
suck
guy
his
have to
dick
fuck
first?
The guy, dude. What if you have to fucking fuck him in his dirty little shit slit?
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Well,
have
come
to.
on.
Have to fuck the guy to fuck the girl. Are there any
What
women?
if like you're fucking the girl and all of a sudden she grabs your dick and shoves it into the man's ass?
Yeah, what then?
Yeah, then what then, tough guy? What if she grabs your dick, spits on it, and starts stroking it, and you're like, oh, fuck yeah, I like this. And all of a sudden she grabs you by like the fucking shaft and jams it into a man's
You
asshole.
ever seen those like the
Of course
bang,
I've seen
the
those
bang
fucking-
bus things?
Why
where
are you
they-
asking me if I... Of course I've seen
Where
that.
they
I've seen-
blindfold the guy and then a guy comes and sucks his dick.
Well, I
and
haven't
he
seen
thinks-
that. That's like, have you ever seen a rape? I'm like, no.
No, there's.
It's like a fucking game show.
You didn't know what I was talking about?
No.
Yeah, no, they do things where a girl brings a guy into like the van and they blindfold him, and then a guy goes in and starts and he doesn't know know it's a
That's-
guy.
Yeah,
That's a
doing it.
Japanese game show, dude.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, you choose a man or woman, and then how you put it on. And so the guy
There is
gets in.
legitimately a Japanese game show I saw recently where they like jerk off the guy while he's singing karaoke or something
yeah,
like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
That's
we gotta
what-
get on some game shows.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the guy's a fucking great singer and no one could resist.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Mm.
I like the scenario though of her putting Matt into another guy as if there's not anything Matt can do while it's happening.
Yeah.
You can't just be like pull back. Yes.
He's
Be
like,
like, no.
No, he'd be like in the porn. Like, oh, what's going on? Oh,
You ever had a threesome, Joe?
Nah, dude.
No.
All right, here's
I
a
came
scenario.
close one time years ago.
Yeah.
And then it's having sex with the fatter of the two.
That's so I.
Isn't it funny? It's never, whenever you think you're going to have a threesome and you only have sex with one person, it's never the one you wanted to have sex with.
Well, that's how
Yeah.
I had one threesome, and it was because I was there were two girls. One was more attractive than the other, and I was trying to have sex with just the more attractive one, and then ended up having a threesome.
So
Yeah,
that's
that's a
a
pretty cool
fucking
story.
win,
It was
dude.
still pretty cool.
That's still a
yeah.
pretty cool story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but all right, here's a scenario. You can have sex with a really attractive. Who's a woman you think is very attractive?
That's yeah. Would you fuck a guy to fuck the girl?
All right, all right. Megan Fox.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
You can have sex with Megan Fox, but you have to. It has to be a threesome with Machine Gun Kelly there, and Machine Gun Kelly he wants to make sure you're gonna do it, so he has to watch you jerk off in front of him for a little bit.
Yeah, what's the fucking problem with that?
Oh, I
dude?
would do that.
but no, just him.
I'd fucking
Yeah.
shoot. I'd fucking shoot such a fat load.
Yeah.
He'd get stuck to the wall like Spider-Man's web.
Yeah.
And he'd be like upside down, and I'd be like, "Stick around, machine." And he's like, "What? Wait a minute! I don't really want you to have sex with Megan Fox. No one can pleasure a woman after shooting that much of a fucking load."
I call
And
it my
I'm like,
kill shot.
Yeah. And then I do it. Yeah, dude. Why not?
Yeah.
I
jerking
don't even
off
want to
in-
fuck Megan Fox, but I do it just to shame
Jerking
him.
off in
Oh
front
my
of a
God.
dude to fuck a hot girl, I would do.
Jerking off in front of a hot dude to fuck a girl. Is that what you said, Matt?
Jerking
What
off
a
in-
faggot. Anyway, Mark.
Damn, you got caught.
Yeah.
So wait a minute.
You would do that, right?
No,
You wouldn't jerk off in front of a guy?
I think once we get to that point, it's gotten too weird. It's
I
just
mean,
gotten,
I'm okay with weirdness to fuck a hot girl.
I like if a guy was
What
like,
if-
I gotta,
what-
I'm
I
not
gotta,
gonna like suck a guy's dick or fuck a guy or.
What if
even-
you're in the
yeah.
locker room and they grab your gym shorts and they won't give it back until you suck off the entire football team?
Yeah.
What about then?
I'd probably just walk home no pants on and be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm about to be raped.
Yeah.
That's what I think. That's how everyone outside the locker room would take that story.
Yeah.
No one would be like, "Dude, you should have just sucked everyone off." They would have been like, "Oh, this is a very scary situation."
Should have been a
we're
little
in."
more mature. Damn, dude.
Yeah, no, I think jerking off in front of somebody is fucking whatever. This
But
is
it's
more
like
weird
a-
for you than me. I'm still having a nice time.
Like,
I'm having a nice time. That's Matt's dirty talk. Oh, you having a nice time?
I'm having such a nice time.
Oh God, I'm having a nice time.
this is very pleasant right now.
Oh my God.
I am enjoying this.
So, do you have any questions about Matt that only his roommate would know?
Yeah. What is So like, how was it living with Matt? You lived with Matt and Ben Miller. Who was the cleanest? Who was the dirtiest?
Okay, so Ben would know how to clean, but wouldn't do it.
That is infuriating.
Yeah. So he would do it, and then anytime it like came up whether or not he should clean, it was sort of like you know the part in Spider-Man when like he lets the robber go, the burglar go at the wrestling thing, and the guy's like, "Why didn't you stop?" And he goes, "I don't see where that's my problem." That's Ben when it came to cleaning literally anything that's going on. Whereas Matt doesn't know how to clean anything, but if you ask him to do it, will at least be like, "Yeah, okay," and then kind of do it.
Yeah. Where it's like more messy than it was before, but at least like you just spread the mess around. But Ben, so like, what
Yeah.
is it like? Is it that thing where it's like a very clean room, but then living space is like fuck it, whatever?
Ben would not let us into his room when we were there.
Wow, interesting.
Just wouldn't, you know.
Mm.
And if we ever went into his room, he'd be like, "Listen, we have to have a serious talk about it. You cannot
Really?
go into the room." Yeah.
I don't know. It's like I
I don't know,
prefer
I
if people.
I just never went into his room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt's better at following directions.
I'd prefer it if people didn't go in my room unannounced, but if there was something in my room that you needed and you're like, hey, I had to go and grab the bong out of your room.
yeah.
All right, cool. You know, I don't know. It's like you got to have like some level of trust with the people you live with. Now, that doesn't mean take advantage of that,
Sure,
but
yeah.
also like there's a trust in like I mean, it's easier for I live with my fucking girlfriend.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
you know, it's a different, you know, when I live with guys, nobody would go into each other's room.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was an option. Like nobody locked our doors.
That's more the way I am, where I do not care if anyone pretty much does and don't steal my shit, but other than that, everyone can do like whatever they want.
And
go
I feel
into my
like-
room.
yeah.
If I was like gone for a weekend and you told me that all weekend you had a friend over and they were staying in my bed, I didn't ask you, is that okay? I would not care.
Yeah. I don't
But
think
that's
I would,
also never a thing that I would never. I
Yeah.
stay out of other people's rooms just because even though I'm okay with anything, I don't know what other people are.
Yeah, for sure. I'll do something like if Matt gets mail, I'll put it on his bed.
yeah,
But
that's
like, I'm not like
completely
then
understandable.
rolling around in his room or anything.
Yeah,
But
actually,
if-
I've been meaning to have a talk with you about that.
but if you put mail on Ben's bed, he would be like, "Listen, we need to talk."
Yeah.
But yeah, Matt is. It was worse right after the arm break, but Matt is still sort of in his era of knocking everything over at all times.
Oh, yeah.
Every
I'm
morning,
still recovering from the broken arm.
every morning when he wakes up, he has to pick his laptop up from one part of the coffee table, move it to another part of the coffee table, and every single thing at the table is at risk during that moment.
Who gets up first in the apartment?
Oh, me all the time.
Mark.
What time do you get up?
Probably between like 7:30.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Damn, look at you. And then what time does Matt get up?
I don't. Like, he works earlier now, but I think without that, he would wake up around like noon,
No, like 10 or 11.
10 or 11. Yeah.
11 at the latest. I'd say usually around 10.
I like
Damn.
waking up earliest so then I can kind of because I actually don't think I'm very friendly in the morning. I kind of just want to like sit quietly and drink coffee and watch One Piece,
Yeah.
or like Star Trek, and so I like to like do yoga, drink coffee, watch the show, and then people come out, and then I'm like, all right, now I think I'm ready to talk to people about stuff.
Yeah, I definitely need like I get up for whatever reason my body's been naturally getting up around like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Sometimes even 5:30. It's fucking wild.
5:30 is too early.
Regardless of what time I go to bed,
Mhm.
and like I'll wake up in the bed, Kelly's still asleep. Everyone's even fucking Finn and Bubs, my dog and cat, they're asleep.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, you know, I'll play video games, I'll fucking surf the web. If there's a fucking locker room talk episode to edit,
Yeah.
I'll do that. You know, it's like, and then I don't even have to start working until like 8:30 in the morning. So I have like a good 3.5 to 2.5 hours. to-
Ideally, I would like to be getting up between 9 and 10. Just the idea of you have the whole day, but I got to sleep a little bit also. Like, if
Yeah.
when I sleep to noon, I feel like, fuck, there's like not enough time to do stuff today.
you do feel like you wasted a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
like sleeping until 10, I feel like, well, 10 is like, okay, fuck, I slept in, but I can still make the most of today.
Yeah.
Like, I got to spring into action. Whereas, like,
when
I
you're
get
waking
up
up at 6 a.m., 10 a.m. is late.
Yeah. Well, when you wake up at fucking 6 a.m., I can wake up until 6 a.m. and be like, cool, I have the whole day ahead. Fuck off until 11 and be like, all right, let's do it. But I won't feel like the same rush of like, oh, I'm running
I
behind.
do feel like if I lived in an area and I wasn't like doing comedy where I'm like I have something to do every night, I would be like an early riser, morning person, and like have the
Yeah.
whole day to do stuff. I would just like go out early and like play basketball or go out to the gym early. But now the idea of like getting up early is like, well, then I have to risk all this fun stuff I could be doing at night.
Yeah.
But other
comedy
places
has a real way of
yeah.
derailing every other part of your life.
What's that?
Comedy has a real way of derailing every other part of your life if you let it.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't even necessarily mean derailing every other part of my life as much as like my life is comedy and hanging
Sure.
out, and I enjoy that part of my life.
Yeah.
So then I just don't have the wake up at 6 in the morning, go to the gym before work, but I just go to the gym in between work and shows. I still am able to like do all the stuff I want to do.
Yeah.
It's just I don't have the schedule a normal human being who's not out every night would have.
That doesn't have the grind or the passion.
Yeah. Yeah, I can still fit everything in. But it's, if I lived in like fucking, I don't know, Iowa
Des
City.
Moines.
Des Moines. We
Yeah.
both went to Iowa.
If you were one of
Hell
those
yeah.
trans people in Iowa City heckling Ben's comedy
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, if I was there, I could see, I'm like, what would be the point of being up late?
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you're having fun doing comedy shows or hanging out with comedians every night.
That's true.
So then that would be just derailing my life.
Yeah.
Were you relieved when Ben moved out, or were you sad?
I was sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked having Ben there because part of me was also sad. I guess this isn't the show for this, but I was sad because I was like, we're never gonna like hang out all the time ever again,
Yeah.
except for when we went on the tour. We stayed at his family's house for 2.5 weeks.
How was
where We
that?
didn't hang out all the time. It was a fun tour. It was fun doing
Yeah.
stand-up comedy. It's tough. It's sort of like being like visiting like your girlfriend's family for a long period of time, except you're not their girlfriend.
Yeah.
So they don't have to like you as much as they would like a girlfriend.
But it's like a kind of like an awkwardness, like I hope you like me kind of thing.
There's a little bit of that, but also like they don't have like but like it's. I think it's a little bit less pressure because like let's say you go and you meet Kelly's family and then they're
They love
like
me, yeah.
yeah, but if that didn't go well, then they're all sitting there being like, fuck, this weirdo is gonna make our grandkids weird if she has grandkids.
Our grandkids are gonna be fucking Antifa, fucking pro-Israel.
Yeah.
But like
Fucking
if I'm just a little bit annoying,
Antifa and pro-Israel?
Antifa, I guess Palestine, right?
Yeah.
I love that halal. I love halal.
Yeah.
but if I'm just a little bit weird to Ben's family, then they're kind of like, oh, that's just a friend he has.
Yeah.
It's not like it doesn't affect the bloodline.
Right. Bloodline's the most important thing.
Nothing is more important than the bloodline
Yeah.
and family.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. In family and in WWE.
Yeah,
You liking the
Bloodline.
WWE right now? You liking that shit?
yeah, it's pretty good.
Who if you could bring back one thing, what would it be?
Eddie
What, to life?
Guerrero.
Anything.
Chris Benoit's family.
Yeah.
I would say I would just say Chris Benoit's highlight reels. Let me just see that on Peacock. Come
yeah.
on.
You can still watch him.
You can
just
still
can't
watch
search 'em.
Chris Benoit matches on Peacock.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought they blurred him out. I thought it's like people are just going
Chris
in the ring.
Jericho in a ladder match
Yeah.
against a holographic image.
A censored blur.
A few years ago, I was watching, I think, a Money in the Bank match, and at the end of the match, the first one, if you remember the first Money in the Bank match, it ends with, like, Edge beating up Benoit really badly and Benoit looking sympathetic. And Ben was, like, for some reason there, and he was just like, it's so weird to see a guy that we know goes on to kill his family, and everyone's just like, aw, poor guy.
Yeah.
He
Goes-
turns out to
yeah.
be full evil,
Yeah.
Do you think what Benoit did was evil?
No, I think it was justified.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How come?
Don't know how his wife was acting.
Mm.
What was what did his little nerd kid say before Daddy Benoit had to do the ultimate discipline? And he also
He was
fucking
probably whining about his mom being dead.
yeah. he also prayed before he took his own life, so it shows
Yes.
like
He left Bibles next
he
to
asked,
their
he
bodies.
asked for forgiveness.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that's important. God forgives.
And
Why can't we?
let he without sin cast the first stone.
Exactly. If I could bring back one thing, it would be bra and panty matches. But it would also be like they also have to piss on each other too. So like what I'd make them do is like there has to be a bra and panty match, but I'd also make both female wrestlers drink a gallon of water before getting to the ring. And so that way like the stimulation and also having their clothes ripped off would force them to urinate. And the first woman to saturate her opponent wins.
Getting
I
your
think-
clothes ripped off forces you to urinate.
in my fucking pro wrestling.
Listen, I'm not into these kinks, but Joe is undoubtedly good at this.
Yeah.
At improvising erotica.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's gonna be like my new fucking. Like somebody like you have to improvise a set. Like it's
Yeah.
like my new show is called Get Me Hard, and and a bunch of fucking comics have to wear tight pants. Well, one person goes up and riffs out like an erotica, like on the spot.
Yeah.
And they have to get like a suggestion from the audience, and like whoever gets a boner, or if they're a woman, get wet, or if they're trans, make everyone uncomfortable with an ungodly odor. Then that person wins.
All right, I want to play. Give me a topic. I'm ready to do erotica.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Round
All right.
one. All right, Matt. You're round two.
Okay.
Okay. So Mark Henley, your theme is the barber shop, and this can be any. It could be incorporated as a word, a theme, however you want to do it, but it has to be relatable to a barber shop.
All right, so Sonic the Hedgehog was in a barber shop.
Okay.
Whoa, terrible, Matt. We
You gotta be
just
careful.
caught
He's
that.
in his knocking everything over era. All right, so Sonic, he's running around. He's eating chili dogs.
Cruising around at the speed of sound.
Yeah, and he trips over one of his hair things. That's his hair, right? His hair thing. And he goes. And then he's like, dude, I gotta get a haircut. So we go. He wants to go to the male barber shop, but he keeps falling over and over again. He keeps tripping over himself. So he has to go to the beauty salon. Ooh. And when he goes there, he sees Rouge the Bat has a new career.
Yeah.
Now, for those that don't know, Rouge the Bat is the bat with the big old titties from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
she is. Some people say, I don't say this, but some people say it is a slut. I don't say it though, because I would never say that about a
Right,
woman.
right.
But she is what she is, and he goes, I need to cut my hair. I keep falling over, and then he realizes he's dropped all of his money, so he has to pay a different way.
Yeah.
Because he fucking ran into a fucking bug on the way over, so he dropped all of his rings.
Yeah.
So he had no way to fucking pay for his haircut.
This is how good Joe is. He's punching up the
Yeah.
horny
And
story
he's
about
like,
the.
let me get that boner a little extra hard for you. All right, Matt. Your theme is the short bus.
The short bus. All right. So one day it was a cold and rainy school day.
Oh, this is
no.
too scary. Stop it.
The short bus pulled up to little Emily Harris's house, the hottest girl in all of school.
Oh, that sounds like a real name. I might have to censor that one. I look up Matt's fucking first grade yearbook. It's like, yeah, the hottest chick. It's like some special ed chick.
Yeah, it is the short bus.
Yeah.
The short bus.
The most beautiful retard. But I could only admire her from afar.
Everyone in the school bus said, "Oh, Emily's coming in." And Emily came out without a raincoat, even though it was pouring rain.
Whoa.
And she was wearing a white tank top.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
And you know what happens with white tank tops in the rain. Emily, with her big retarded titties, got on the bus and said, "Hello, everybody." Every child had a throbbing, fat, retarded erection. And they all fucked Emily right in front of the bus driver.
What'd the bus driver do?
The bus driver joined in.
Oh my God,
And
but
pulled
he's an
out
adult.
his dick, which was not as big as the child's dicks, because retarded children, notoriously larger dicks than adult men.
Why is it notorious?
I think Matt's trying to pass off his secret knowledge as like common knowledge. It's like, well, as you know, a retarded dick is 7 times more succulent than a non-retarded one.
Yes.
Right, officer?
Yeah. And then they all came over a Vienna Fingers cookie, and the biggest retard of all in the back ate the whole thing in one bite.
Wow, the biggest one?
The biggest one. The big dog of the retards, if you will. All right, Joe, your turn.
All right, what's
Your
what's my
topic
theme?
is the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Let's just say Will had been frivolously spending all of Uncle Phil and Aunt Viv's money when he came home and saw Carlton sprawled out on the couch in a way that he could only say enticing.
Ooh.
Now, even though Carlton,
Was it like this?
yeah, just dancing around. Anyway, Will went up to Carlton and said, "Keep my wife's name. Keep my wife's name out your damn mouth so you have space for my dick." And then he shot a Fresh Prince into his
Bel Air.
cousin's mouth. Yeah, he belled his air.
In West Philadelphia, hard and raised.
Hell yeah, very
And your mom's
erotic.
pussy is where I spent most of my days.
Erotica is a powerful
When a
tool.
couple of guys who were up to no good.
Started making trouble in my butthole.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Got in one little gang rape. My mom got scared.
Said, "You moving with your auntie and uncle to fuck them."
Hell yeah, dude.
Damn, erotica is a powerful art form.
It's
Yeah,
the
it's
purest art
beautiful.
form imaginable, man.
Yes.
God damn. Mark, where can people find you? What can we do? Where can we see you next?
At Mark Henley on Instagram. I'm also on Comedy Fight Club every single week. And then if you want to see me do stand-up, I've got two short Christmas specials on YouTube, all called The Big Dog, BXG DXG Christmas. You'll find it. Or message me. I'm not doing anything. And you can find me there.
Hell yeah, man. All right, you sticking around for the bonus one?
I'm sticking around.
Folks, if
For
you
when
want
things get hot.
Hell yeah,
Yes.
dude. If you want to see more of Mark Henley, go to the sites and also subscribe to the Patreon. I think we're going to have another interesting episode coming up.
Ooh.
And again, Bobby Sheehan, go to the authorities. It's not worth it. Stop running, please.